Hi guys, today I have come to after a couple of weeks back. I hope you are doing well, and because of the snowfall and here in Tennessee, we are not able to upload my poetry, and my camera is not well because it has fall down right now. It is going to disturb. If it is disturb, that means I am not going to cover it. Otherwise, if it is okay, I'll be doing 33 seconds gone, but I don't know what happened to my uh, camera. Uh, we have been writing like different themes on the poetry on the different topics, but today's topic is about D.S. T.S. Eliot, and we write poetry. We wrote poetry on different themes. Today's my topic of my poem is Dear T.S. Eliot. Let me read, and you know the very well. Those who are very educated people, they know it very well. Who is T.S. Eliot, and I would like to pay homage or salute to him because through him we have known so many references. Because T.S. Eliot has undergone through different myths. Myth in a sense he has already accomplished. Even like the Indian myths, like Indian like Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all. He has used the word Santi Santi in his poem tradition and the individual talent at the last, if you see the line. So I liked him very much because he was one of the legend, what can I say, immortal one of the among many. He was also one of the. So let me read without a delay. 2 minutes has gone already. Dear, topic is Dear T.S. Eliot. Dear Sir T.S. Eliot, I heard your interview. Dear Sir T.S. Eliot, I heard your interview at the heart of New York City, in the house of Mrs. Louise Henry Cohen, in the house of Louise Henry Cohen, who was the best friend you ever had. Preserved your portrait on the wall. Preserved your portrait on the wall. Second stanza. Sir Donald Hall carefully interrogated every bit of questionnaire you answered. Sir Donald Hall carefully interrogated every bit of questionnaire you answered. From the ancient myths to modern age, the modern age, and critics of France, Italy, and Germany, talks about the tax of arts, without biasness and hesitant, you would make them rebel. You had make them rebel. Third, apart from the play The Elder Statesman, based on Oedipus at Colonus, Greek mythology, apart from the play The Elder Statesman, based on Oedipus at Colonus, Greek mythology, your greatest is the wasteland, you quoted. Your greatest is the wasteland, you quoted, but in absence of Ezra Pound. Never have come this poem into account at number of times sorted out by him. That aided you to be immortal. Since Pope's Belinda the Wrath of Locke you mixed. Since Pope's, that is Alexander Pope, Since Pop's Belinda, the rap of luck you mixed, he enacts not brilliantly that might make it cocktail. He enacts brilliantly that might make it cocktail. Fourth, like W.B. Yeats encouraged William Singe to study Ireland, finally finish the final 3 acts play Rider to the Sea. Like W.B. Yeats encouraged William Singe to study Ireland, finally finish the final 3 acts of play Rider to the Sea. So did Ezra Pound in your wasteland. Despite obstacles of great world war at hand. So did Sir Ezra Pound in your wasteland, despite obstacles of great world war at hand. Fifth, when asked about new poets, never dare you to discourage them, but rather check their forms and content. When asked about new poets, never dare you to discourage them, but rather check their form and contents. Sixth, though you spend rest of life in England, though you spend rest of life in England, pursued Nobel Prize and earned fame, pursued Nobel Prize and earned fame, yet your core theme came from New England. That is America. Yet your core theme came from New England. Now, up to this is like a narrative. The speaker, the poet himself, solved the poem. Now, as a poet, what he would try to say T.S. Eliot. Okay? The poet's voice I have written here. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines only. This one, no, last stanza is mine. I just solved here. Sir, me as a pure diaspora, truly the poorest peasant's chora. Chora is a Nepali word I have just coined. Chora means son. Sir, me as a pure diaspora, truly the poorest peasant's chora, came from Southeast Asia in the heart of America, New England. Came from Southeast Asia in the heart of America. Yet neither acquainted their accent nor questionaries. Yet neither acquainted their accents nor questionaries. A little knowledge I bore. A little knowledge I bore into the heart of my core, into the heart of my core, is slowly emptying at each second, is slowly emptying at each second before the departure of my end. Before the departure of my end. This is the end part of the poem. It took me 7 minutes 51 seconds. So 54 seconds, yeah. So my dear friends, the theme of this poem, theme or synopsis, if I would say about T.S. Eliot, sir, this is about T.S. Eliot in a simple language. About his interviews, it is about his interviews. Having learned the interviews, thus I try to interpret myself in a poetic language, okay? It is in a New York City. And how he himself says on arts of beauty. He talk about a lot of things about art of beauty. Talks on great poets of his age and their work. He talks a lot of about poetry, how did he write and how did he neglect and this thing and that. Everything was there in the poet. And finally, the writer exhausted himself, feels to collapse. So this is the theme, like he feels collapse himself, even myself, having lived in New England, in America. So, lost poet's voice to his coined here. Now, this is also one small the soft theme, if I want to say, the lost poet's voice is also in here. It is combined here. That means. So let me explain you little bit and whether you understand, because we all know those who are literate, those who are educated people, especially poets. Right now I'm in also the member of a poetry.com. Earlier they have already earned, but right now I don't think they have every poem that we have to do biography and writing, and that I have just stopped. I just uploaded 3 of my poetry in the poetry.com, but they are trying to all the time say that we have to use the card. Every poem we have to give $25 to debate with the they just try to 1 2 3 4, then they are trying. That's not a good. I don't think whether they are doing good or not, but so far I am concerned that that's not good. Anyway, I am the member because I am also writing there. Okay, let me explain this poem. Dear T.S. Eliot. Dear Sir, dear T.S. Eliot, I heard your interview at the heart of New York City in the house of Mrs. Louis Henry Cohen, who is the best friend of you ever had. Preserve your portrait on the wall. Now, this means in the first, what you call, stanza, what I heard from the interview from the T.S. Eliot with the taken by Mrs. In the house of interview taken in the house of Mrs. Louis Henry Cohen, and it is taken by Sir Donald, okay, Hall. His name is Donald Hall, and he has taken interview, and his portrait was big portrait, like the picture on the wall, and it was so exquisite, so beautiful, sublime. I was so much astonished. It is in the heart of New York City, and where the interview was taken. And the second is Sir Donald Hall carefully interrogated every bit of questionnaire you answered, from the ancient myths to modern age, and critics of France, Italy, and Germany talks about the tasks of art without biasness. Hesitant you had them revealed. Now, this is the interview. I already told you, this is the interview between the Sir Donald Hall and T.S. Eliot in the house of Mrs. Louis. So I would say whenever Mr. Donald you asked a questionnaire, interrogated means questions, every bit of questionnaire you answer, he gave you such a soft answers, from the ancient myth to the modern age. From the ancient myth, he talked about the Greek mythology. He talked about the, what can I say? Sumerian culture, Greek arts, and how Pythagoras and all these things, the earlier, those are like Socrates and all this. Yeah. And I don't want to say, it takes a lot of time. From the ancient myth, a doubtful history, myth, to the modern age. Now, at present, what happened? Because of the World War, it's very bad. And the critics of France, Italy, and Germany, he also talked about who are the France critic, and the Italy and Germany, like Nietzsche and all, these are the tough critics of that age. Talks about the tax of art. Without bashing hesitant, everything he has been, he made it clear who are there, how was this New England, America was made, the build up, how was evolved, and this thing, how African was, everything was there, but I have written in a very short version, thanking him. Third. Now, apart from the play, The Elder Statesman, based on Oedipus at Colonus, a great Greek mythology, your greatest is the wasteland, you quoted. Now, apart from the play, that is Elder Statesman play, that is, based on, that is, the play was written based on Oedipus Rex. Actually, Oedipus, the Oedipus we have read already, written by Sophocles. It was an earlier version, and it's a tragedy, okay, play. I don't want to, influence it to take a long time. So based on Oedipus at Calanos, Colonus, a Greek. It is a Greek mythology. Your greatest is the wasteland. You quoted. I still remember when I heard the interview. He just smiled and said he said that my greatest one is the wasteland. But in absence of Ezra Pound, never have come this poem into account at number of times sorted out by him that aided you to be immortal. Now you see, this Ezra, this wasteland was the salute goes to even the poet Ezra Pound also. You know, he is also one of the they are contemporary friends. Ezra Pound made a lot of correction in this wasteland, and that. But in absence of Ezra Pound, never have come this poem into account, into life account at number of times sorted out by him. He sorted out the mistakes. This one you can go in this thing. Look, I am alone, but still that I am doing. But at that time they never have to social media and everything. They have to write and reject and write and reject and write. And Ezra Pound was there. Never have come this poem into account with immortal. At number of times sorted out by him, Ezra Pound, you helped that aided you to be immortal. So T.S. Eliot, you have become an immortal because your arts of beauty we read, because of we read and then we have been enlightened here. Because I can speak, I can say, I can use my words because of you, and we are trying to teach our younger. But the writings of yours, T.S. Eliot, and ours is little. It varies, it differs. Everywhere, every genre, they have a different, patterns of writing. And because you have become an immortal, that means no more death. Because we read his books all the time. Since Pope's buried in the wrap of lock you mixed, he annexed not brilliantly that might make it cocktail. See, Alexander Pope's also the greatest poet. You see, buried in the wrap of locks. If I go on, analyzing, it's very very So, but you mix. He helped. You told that you mix. He annex not brilliantly that might make it cocktail. He annex. He joined it so brilliantly. Otherwise, it make it cocktail. It's like a mix. Hot spots, in other words. Now the other one references like WBS. You know WBS. Like WBS encouraged William Senji, who wrote the to study Ireland, finally finished the final 3 acts of play Rider to the Sea, William Senji. So WBS poets also, I think you might have read, he is also the greatest poet on that contemporary, yeah. And so did Sir Ezra Pound in your Wasteland. So I have already told you about the Wasteland is the greatest, and the even like I'm just comparing with the WBS with the William Sinje, and that's of T.S. Eliot with Ezra Pound. Okay, WBS encouraged William Sinje to read about the island, and then they have made it's a 3 act play, Rider to the Sea, and see there the sea. If you don't have read, please, my dear friend, please read this 3 act play. Greatest tragedy. All the time waiting, my son. All the sons have been dying, and the mom is waiting, and all there because in the island, because this island and this, swamps of seas and seas all died. So pathetic. So, did Ezra Pound found in your wasteland, despite obstacles of great World War at hand? At that time, World War was there. They said, and there were a lot of things, ups and downs. Still, then they are writing in the corner of the room where I'm sitting like that. They also sit hours and hours and hours to motivate, to write. Now, the questioner like Mr. Donald Hall asked him, "What about the new poets? How can you say about the what can you say about the new poets? Are they good or bad, or what do you want to say?" Now he replied, "When asked about the new poets, never dare to discourage them, but rather check their forms and content." Yes, there is successor and predecessor. The new poets will all the time read about even the Ezra Pound, T.S. Eliot, W.B.R. Williams, and what else? Or the other poets, T.S. Eliot, what do you call John Keats, what do you call Robert Frost. All these poets, they also read their beginners, their openers. What can I say in a simple language? Their forefathers or the myths, they combine, join, and they make it a very. I have already told you, reading a poetry for the first time is an ought to be a man like a meeting for the first time. No, that's the reason. That is why they use, different references from different fields and they just quaint. The Belinda, the Rap of Luck, if you read, I think it is written by W.B. Yeats, is the most mythical poem. It is very hard to understand unless you go to immerse into the Greek culture, like Swan, like Zeus, everything like Titanic, all old age, but it's very beautiful. How the Helen was born, how the Trojan War was taken, so beautiful. So when I ask about new poets, never dare you to discourage them, but rather check their form and content, writing style, content. What is the content? CONT, and content is the meaning inside the poetry. That must be there. Do not think that e-comics, again I am repeating you, Buffalo Bill is different. It is like a concept because you are the ambulance driver at the time. The poetry is written in concept, but it has a meaning. If you go to write in on a thematic like a writing depiction, it would becomes pages like hundreds of pages if you write. Every lines syntactical, semantic order like if you lines there is no line like a words within time like a slowly, silently now the moon walks the night in a silver sun this way and that she walks and she like it's not like that. I wandered lonely as a cloud, daffodils like Wordsworth. Because they are romantic age is a very period of very happiness. So that's why he talks about not about form and content. He didn't say regarding about the rhythm, food, no. But rather check their form and content. Though now, I'm saying I'm saying as I am saying as a poet. Though you spent rest of your life in England, pursued Nobel Prize and earned fame. You pursued, you got, you rest of your life in the Britain, London. And you earned Nobel Prize, and on fame, yet your core theme came from New England. Core, main, inside, theme, the content came from New England. What is New England? America. Now this last stanza is my feeling, now I'm speaking. I'm like regurgitating, poetic language, but I can say in a simple language, vomiting. My feelings towards T.S. Eliot, though he is not there, but my reader can understand. And tomorrow you can also vomit me, okay, my juniors. Take it, okay. Let me read now last part of the poem. Sir, me as a pure diaspora, truly the poorest peasant chora came from Southeast Asia. 3 lines. Sir, me as a pure diaspora. Diaspora means person who left one country to another. Truly the poorest peasant chora. Peasants means a farmer's son. Chora means I have found a word chora because I would like to make a little rhythm here. Diaspora and chora, like chora is a son. came from Southeast Asia, you know it very well, in the heart of America, that is New England. In those days, America used to be called New England by the Red armies when America was colonized. And we know it very well. We'll talk regarding about this also in future. My dear new friends, if you are not acquainted with that, we will talk about what happened in America and how did they get freedom from the hands of British. Yet neither acquainted their accents nor questionnaires. A little knowledge I bore into the heart of my core is slowly emptying at each second before the departure of my end. Now, this is very simple. I came from the Southeast Asia, that is called Bhutan, and in the heart of it, right now in the diaspora, I am right now living in America for the since last 11 years. This poem has written in America, okay, not in it's not so far like it's not a long ago. It's like it might have say like it has written 5 years ago. So came from Southeast Asia in the heart of America, yet neither acquainted their accent nor questionnaire. Now, so as I'm American, as I'm a poet, I'm very well, I'm very good, and I went to different parts of America, like for example, different states. Like even I visited California, I went to Washington, I went Canada near the border of like Vermont and Texas, everywhere. But I found the Lang and Parole, that is the language, the accent or the diphthongs or the phonology, what can you say in other terms, linguistic terms, they do differ. Here in Tennessee, I saw my friend, white friend and a black friend. I'm a brown, like what I call Asian. But there are others, you know, Spanish is different thing. Spanish, we forget about it. Black friends, those who have been living for centuries here, and the white friends. Frankly, I'm speaking, their accent is different. We say glass, our black friends say glass, glass. Lages. We say lages. So it varies. That's why I'm telling you, yet neither acquainted their accents and questionnaires, a little knowledge I bore. Now, whenever I used to go to hospital, sometimes I have to take an interpreter. Interpreter. I don't know. This is America is made by the millions. I don't want to say, maybe hundreds of mixed people. So it's very difficult to understand, my dear friends. It has been like about 11 or 12, now going to 12, but still I am not acquainted with. Acquainted means familiar with all their accents, the articulation, what they utter, say. Questionnaire is and a little knowledge I bore. I have a little, I should say, into the heart of my core. Inside my heart is slowly emptying at each second. What I got, the thematic knowledge from there, or the books, so many books, all the books have been sometimes like I am lost because I don't understand. Slowly emptying means nothing at each second before the departure of man. I don't know. Man is mortal. Man is mortal. My friends, no one lives forever on earth. So right now I am in dilemma whether the books here, 430, I am telling you right now, just now, new poem I have written that I met a guy here. See, I met a guy. This has to be corrected. Last time I have written, and snowfall also. Tennessee, we had a lot of snowfall last time. I have written 2 of my poems. It depends upon when you are free and when you are free from your, what could I say, your brain, and then you can depict or you can write something, you can create like songs also I've made yesterday. But if you are not free about a war, the war which is going proxy war, as well as the the regional war or the invaders, they are trying to make them many selfish by nature. That's the reason. Thank you so much, my friends. How do you like the TS Elite, saluting with TS Elite? Next time I will be coming with the ST College also. ST College, I think you know it very well, and Ezra Pond also. And the other one, my favorite one, is Emily Dickinson. In her name, I have also written a poem, not a poem, sorry, song, Mritu, that is death. She has written a poem that is death, immortality, and herself. And that poem is very, very, I like that poem, and that because of that, I extracted the portion from there, and I converted it into my language, that is Nepali, and I made a song that is Mritu Timi टाढा नजाऊ चढै फर्की मलाई लिन आऊ दैवले दिएको एक बार जीवन अब चाहिँदैन मलाई यहाँ अब चाहिँदैन मलाई यहाँ. This means mritu means death. Don't go far away from me. Please come back and take me away. What the Almighty has given the life to me, I don't want anymore. Because here, the Dickinson, Emily Dickinson says, like, 17,000 poems have been kept in her box after her death. Her niece found it out, and they were immortalized by their niece, her niece. See, life of a poet, writers is different from other businessmen or so and so called Mark Zukes and all the Elon Musk and all. Because we writers, we don't have money. We don't contribute money because we don't expect richness. We expect art as a beauty. That's why Keats says, truth is beauty, truth, beauty, beauty, truth. Truth is beauty, beauty, truth. Last word of the Grecian, see the poem. His greatest, at the age of 25, he died due to the tuberculosis, John Keats. Because his brother John got the, at first the tuberculosis, and he got it back. Because at the time there was no medicine or the potion to, control tuberculosis. Right now we have a medicine, and in those days it was not. At the age of 25, but his writing, see, his depiction, I can't compete with them. So great. I'm already under 50s, but I don't know, because some people, they don't understand my writing also, but still then we have to read and read. Thank you, my guys, those who are very well. Pray for the world war, especially our innocent boys and girls, and many our elders are dying in Israel and Hamas, and they are doing their best to safeguard themselves. And also pray for the people, Russia invaders versus defenders, Ukraine. We are praying for them, and we are writing also. We are supporting the losers, those who are meekness, those who are, the really is very, very many selfish by nature, my dear friend. Please, thank you so much. Have a nice time. It's almost 8 o'clock night time. I'll be coming up next with the new poem. Have a great time. Thank you so much. It is already 33 minutes. We enjoy my poetry.